This video will cover the Manage Schools tab on the Enterprise version. As the district admin, you are able to manage all of the schools in the district. If you've already added schools, your schools will appear at the bottom here. If you click the pencil and paper next to each one, you're able to edit the information. This includes the school's name and address, the phone number, fax, the school start time, dismissal time, and the school end time. Please note that the school start time does affect when students are counted as late and tardy when they check in. And the school end time is going to affect faculty and staff when they check out. The school end time is going to be the time that school check-in automatically checks out faculty and staff for the day. So when you're running your faculty and staff reports, if they did not check out themselves, there will be an asterisk next to their name, and that means that the system did check them out at this time that you put here. On this same page, you can edit the school admin for the school. Once you're done, you can click on Save Changes. And if you scroll all the way up, we do have a couple more things here. The first thing that we have is your Settings tab for this specific school. You can click on Settings. This will give you your administration menu timeout. This number right here is in seconds, and this is something that you can set up in case you have a specific amount of inactivity on the admin menu in the school check-in program or in the office menu. This will kick you back to the main menu where people check in after these amount of seconds. And this is just for security precautions. The next option that we have is your auto shutdown option. If you select yes, this will prompt you to select the time when you want school check-in to shut down at the end of the day. This does not shut down your computer. It will only close the school check-in program. The next option that we have is use school logo on the main menu. If you do wish to use or enable the use of the school logo on the main menu, you need to enable that by clicking on yes here. The next option is your print secretary or admin initial line on the passes. If you select yes, this is going to print out a line for the admin or secretary to initial on the student passes. Key check will be when visitors come in, it will print out an extra long badge for them to attach to their keys. That way the front office can keep their keys and the visitor will have to come back to the front office to check out. The next option here is new adults require DA approval after adding or importing. If you select yes, this will require the DA to approve any adult that is added or imported into the system. So if a school does add or import from their side, the DA must approve it. If you're going to be using a webcam, please make sure you enable the use of a webcam through here. After you're done, you can click on Save Changes. And this will take you back to the page where you have all the schools. I'm going to go ahead and select the same school I was just on. So the next tab that we have is Security. Security will have all of the passwords for that specific school. If you are using an alternative language as well, you will need to select that in here. So we have the option for Spanish or no alternative language. To change the password for this specific school, you just need to click in the field and type in whatever you want here. After you've done that, you can scroll all the way down and click on Save Changes. Please do not select Push to All Schools. This will actually change the password to all the schools in the district, and unless you want to do that, you should not be selecting this button here. In addition, you can also reset your offender check password from here, your biocheck password, and your faculty auto login password. To change these, you will just need to click in the field here and type in a new password. And then click on Save Changes at the bottom. again, the button on the side here, push to all schools, will change it for all the schools in the district. The last thing at the bottom here is going to be your scan only options. If you have adults or students at the school who scan to check in using key fobs or RFID readers, and you only want them to be able to check in by scanning, you can select the scan only option here and then click on Save Changes. This will allow them to check in by only scanning what they have. So if you're using key fobs, they will only be able to use their key fob to scan and check in. And if you're using RFIDs, they will only be able to scan their RFID to check in. You are, however, able to set up a password override in case they don't have their key fob or RFID with them. You can override the login and check them in using the list instead of scanning them in. So you will need to set up the password override as well. And again, after you've set that up, just go ahead and click on Save Changes. Okay, and if we go back to the Manage Schools tab here, the next thing that I will go over is the emergency button here. If you select the box here next to the school's name under emergency, this will allow you to use the reunification status in case of emergencies. If you don't have it selected, it will not allow you to use the reunification status for that specific school. So please make sure you do have this selected. If you don't see your school yet and you want to add it, you will need to click on Add School. You will need to fill in the information for the school. Anything marked with an asterisk is required, so please fill all this in and then click on Save Changes. If you are going to be adding something like a web station, you will need to put in the IP address for that, and that can be found under the allowed IP address. You will see here that I already have some IP addresses set up. You can type in a new IP address by clicking the field here under Starting IP and then typing in a new IP address. And then the ending IP address as well. Then you will just need to click on Save Changes and it will appear at the bottom here. If you do wish to delete any of these or edit them, you can simply check the box here next to each IP address range and click on Delete. Or you can click on the pencil and paper next to each IP address range. For example, we have this one here. We can click on the pencil and paper to edit that information, and it will appear at the top here where you can just simply click in the field and then edit the IP address range and then click on Save Changes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go back. The other tab that we have on here is going to be your login links. The login links contains different login links that you will use for school check-in. For example, the faculty and staff login link will allow faculty and staff to log in from their own device if you have that set up. And this is the link that they will use. We have it for volunteers as well. We have it for parents and guardians and the bring your own device for faculty and staff. And that concludes this video. To access additional videos, please visit us at schoolcheckin.com.